Welcome back in. Summer is on its way, and that means lots of sunshine here in Atlanta. So what if you want to take advantage of some of that sun? Today, we're introducing you to the experts of all things solar energy. Joining me now is Tom Bowman and John Wagner from Custom Solar Solutions. Thank you both for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Good morning.
Tom, we're going to start with you because a very curious question off the top here. We've got an increasing costs. Means a higher demand for solar energy, right? So a lot of people are wondering, how much money can I really save using solar energy?
Well, I hate to give the answer, but it depends.
Yeah.
Everybody's unique. We always strive for 100% offset of your power. Your utility fees, we never can really get rid of those as long as you're on the grid.
That's right.
Unless you move to the mountains and you want to go off grid.
Yeah.
But ideally, there's a couple factors that really are dependent on how much you can save. One is how much usable space you have on your roof or on your property or even on a parking lot.
Right.
There's a lot of different ways we can do that. Also, the direction that you face the sun. South is optimal, but we can work with east and west, and we can even work with north. But again, the direction is optimal.
Yeah.
And number three, Georgia has a lot of sun, but we also have a lot of trees.
Yes, that's right.
So shading is another big challenge here. Some other little unknowns around when you talk about cost. Solar has been estimated to improve the value of your home about 5 to 6%.
That, yes,
A lot of people aren't aware of that.
Right.
And then, and I'll talk about this a little later, is around the battery technology.
Sure.
It allows you to use your solar 24/7, and it also helps you on the outage side. So if you work from home and you're down for a day with outages, the opportunity cost of being down, losing that revenue from working from home, where you could actually stay up and use that, goes a long way in saving costs. But again, we always are trying to strive for 100% offset on your energy
Well,
bill.
you just said a very important thing. It all depends on the sun. And obviously, let's bring you in here, John. California, Florida, we know these are extremely sunny states, but right here in Georgia, obviously Tom mentioned the trees, but how are we doing here in Georgia?
We're actually number 7 in the nation. Florida's actually number 5. So about 7.6% of Florida has solar, and then about 6.5% of our energy capacity in Georgia is by solar. So we're actually really high up on the list relative to what people would believe.
Yeah.
California, of course, number 1, but Georgia is an up-and-coming champion of solar right now.
Yeah, that's so encouraging. And I know you just kind of touched on the tech, Tom, but let's dive into that. If someone's watching and they're thinking, I've never dealt with solar panels, what do they do? And can you use them all year round? Because I think the misconception is you have to have the sun blaring on them. So talk about that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it simple. So basically a solar panel is composed of about 72 or so solar cells, primarily made up of silicon. Quite simply, it absorbs the sunlight and produces electrons that ultimately become a direct current. So I'm not going to get into all the details of electricity here.
That's why they got to come see the experts.
Exactly. But then we have an inverter which converts the direct current into alternating current, which powers your home or business.
Yeah.
And to your point, yes, solar the panels can be used year round. They actually like the cold. They produce more energy during the cold, although the sunlight is a little less, lower in the sky. But they actually do. Electricity tends to produce more or conduct better in the cold. So that works really well. And believe it or not, during rain or shade, cloudy, you still get sunlight.
I love that.
So you can use it 24/7 with the battery you can, but yeah, during cloudy days.
You just busted some myths right open right there.
Yeah.
Well, John, I want to talk about for the consumers and the businesses watching, we're seeing these beautiful images on the screen here, but what is that process for getting those panels?
Yes, first thing would be look at your power bill and analyze usage. Look at the use case of what you're trying to accomplish. So whether it's energy offset to save money or having an off-grid solution, so to speak, to where you can essentially work at home without having any disruption to work, or just generally altruism. People want to feel good about their decision to do something positive for the environment. And so really just going to our website, scheduling a consultation. One of our teammates will be able to do a full expert design of your business or of your home and determine capacity to generate and also size batteries if necessary.
Yeah, I mean, really it just comes down to asking the questions and reaching out to you guys. Tom, before we leave here, there's such an increase of solar. Why do you think that is? I know there's an obvious answer, but it kind of does.
Well, I think it boils down to 3 things. Number one, the costs for solar have come down over 70% over the last 5 years. Number 2, with the signing of the IRA a couple years ago, the investment tax credits. Some other myth busting here is 30 to 40% tax credit. It not only applies to your solar, but to your battery as well as roof. So if you get a new roof during your solar install, that also applies there for business and residential. And then thirdly, the technology advancements. Not only are we producing more power, but the game changer has really been, and I've already alluded to this, around the battery storage.
That's right.
Again, the battery versus a generator. Generators, everybody knows generators. They spend thousands of dollars for generators.
Right.
But they're noisy, require fuel, emissions, don't get a tax credit, and you have to maintain them, and you actually have to pay to fuel those things. Batteries, you get none of that.
So good.
And they, the warranties are up to 15 years. And with the batteries, you can use your solar during the day, you capture it, you use it 24/7. And oh, by the way, it's there for an outage as well.
You just gave us a mic drop. We're going to have all of this on the website because there's just so much to know. We thank you both so much for being here. If you're interested in solar energy, check out Custom Solar Solutions. They're locally owned and operated. We love that here on ATL Live. And their information is right there on the screen. And be sure to visit CustomSolarSolutions.com. Once again, gentlemen, thank you so much.